When it comes to trying to find the value in conversations and in small talk like this, it is with the people that you haven't met before. It's also with the people that you currently work with. It seems counterintuitive to say that taking 2 or 5 minutes out of your day, or 20 seconds or 40 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever it is, can actually lead to more productivity, but it absolutely can. There was a study that was done last year by the American Psychiatric Association. And it was a great study because they surveyed American workers throughout the US, and they divided them into 2 groups. The people who felt valued in their job and the people who did not feel valued in their job. And they asked them a whole bunch of questions, but here's the ones that really stuck out to me. It was, how often do you give your best effort at work? And the people who said they felt valued at their job said that 93% of the time they were giving their best effort at work, which I thought was a pretty good number. And then they asked, how engaged would you say that you are at work? How much do you buy into what we're doing and really take an active role? 87% of those who felt valued said, yep, we're on board. We're engaged. We're right there with you. Really good numbers. They asked the same questions to the folks who said that they weren't feeling very valued at work. 33% reported giving their best effort at work. And 27% said that they were actively engaged at work. So your return on investment in that case is 60%. There's a 60% difference in people who feel valued versus people who don't feel valued. And they asked the question, well, what could we do to make you feel more valued? And you got the standard answers, right? Like, well, if we had better benefits or more flexible pay or, more vacation, greater pay, I should say, more flexible work hours, right? We would feel more valued. And that's certainly true, right? We can't always control those things. But here's the one thing we can control with every single person around us: taking time to listen and talk to them. It's a much more cost-effective way to do it, and I can prove that people just want to be heard and that people want to talk. Not just me, but lots of people. Do you remember this picture? John, can you show the next picture? Do you remember this? Anybody a Seahawks fan? Anybody a Green Bay fan? That was a good answer. Okay? Remember this picture? Monday Night Football this year, across the street at CenturyLink. Golden Tate. I was standing about 5 feet away from that. Okay? End of the game, Hail Mary pass, they call touchdown Seahawks. Most of the country disagrees. There was an outrage. It was just incredible. Uproar, outrage. Do you know that 70,000 people called the NFL league office that week? 70,000 people called to complain about that game. Now, what were they hoping to accomplish by calling the league office? Are you going to reverse the call in the game? No. Not after the fact. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter how many angles. I called it a touchdown anyway. That's beside the point, right? 70,000 people called. Jill, oh my gosh, Jill, who sits at the front desk at the Seahawks. I love Jill. Jill had the phone glued to her ear for the entire week, and I would walk in. I'd say, what's going on? She goes, they won't stop calling. I said, what's going on? He said, they just want to call and talk about the game, and I try to get them to the right people, and I try to help them. I can't get a word in edgewise. All these people want to do is talk. All these people want to do is talk and have somebody listen to them, right? You would think that there's enough interaction going on social media, and there's a place for social media, absolutely. But it doesn't take the place of actual interaction and knowing that somebody took the time to listen and invest a few minutes in them. Felix understands this. In fact, Felix is really good. And John, if we could see the next slide. Felix is great at building relationships. I wish you could see him in the clubhouse. He takes the time to go around and to talk to his teammates, make sure that everybody is included, that everybody knows how he feels about them. And it was so interesting because in spring training this year, I talked to every single member of the team last year who was part of the perfect game, except for John Jason, who's moved on. And I started asking them questions. When did you know it was going to be a special day? How did you feel? And every single one of them had a different story when it dawned on them, but all of them said, I knew we couldn't screw this up. We wanted it so badly for Felix. We knew we were going to die for every ball. We were going to make every catch. We were going to make every throw. We had to get it for Felix. Felix was the last person I talked to this year in spring training. And I asked him the same question. I said, did you ever get nervous? He goes, no, not really. When I walked out in the ninth inning, I saw myself on the video board and I thought, I just have to do this. And I said, well, your teammates certainly felt like there was a lot on the line. Did you ever worry about your teammates behind you? Nope. All I had to do was make my pitches. I was fine. Talk about a return on investment. How'd you like to have it all on the line and know your team has your back?